Well, good morning, guys. I'm up on the Adairsville, Georgia, north of Atlanta. I went home for home time, and the day before I was going to ship out, I loaded my truck up with my groceries and stuff, and noticed my window and my driver's side was not operating properly at all, actually. So I reported it. They sent me 75 miles north of Atlanta up to Adairsville to Bobo dealership. So I decided to walk up here about a quarter mile to Waffle House and grab me some chow. So we'll see. It's kind of a dreary day. Winter's coming upon us, so it's going to get interesting. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted. Everything else going all right. Hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, Waffle House is over. That was good. Nice little lady, old lady, sitting there by herself. I picked up her breakfast for her. She got the senior discount. She had steak and eggs and only $5.95. I don't know how that worked out, but she kind of reminded me of my mother, so I just picked it up. She said, "Have a good day." It's nice to do something nice for somebody without expecting something in return. So I encourage it. Good for the soul. Anyway, so I want to talk to you guys about something. I had a real struggle. I haven't been on in a few weeks, as you noticed. I was getting close to coming to home time, and after being out about a month, I usually get a little bit crotchy, a little bit irritable when it gets close to that time. So just about any little thing's gonna wear me out. So it's good to have a good attitude, but when it's challenging, I look out for my trucker friends like you guys, and I appreciate all y'all's support. So here's the deal, and it really comes down to doing the right thing, and it's not easy to do. It's good after the fact, and you look back on it, you say, "Yeah, I'm glad I did it," but I didn't like doing it at all. I had a trailer full of beer, and it was I was close to 80,000 pounds, and the truck was only 3/4 full. Anybody that's pulled beer before knows even light beer is heavy. So I'm going down the road and going down 81 and down 77, going down the East Coast from Virginia down to Albany, Georgia, to some beer distributor. And man, it was a rough ride. I kept thinking it's because the load was heavy, because at ATS, I don't know, probably 75% of the time your loads aren't really too heavy. You're just running loads that are, I don't know, 10,000 pounds. 40,000 would be about the most you can carry, but 10, 20,000 is about kind of an average. Sometimes you get a heavy load like this. It beat the heck out of me. And I was wondering if I had the tandems. I scaled. I had 33,700 pounds on the rear, and about just under 32,000 on the tires, and steers were normal, about just under 12,000. but I was fairly empty on fuel. I knew I was going to pick up fuel, so I usually try to keep the tires pretty the lesser of the two. The rear I usually try to get like that. So I thought maybe I didn't have it balanced right. Maybe I should have had it more in the rear, or on my tires. And it was I went over a couple. I don't know what it is about engineers, but the road engineers and the bridge engineers, they are not in the same meeting when they are working on these roads, because anybody knows that drives a truck, you're gonna go flying up or down. It's like a little baby ramp. And thank gosh for air shock seats. But man, this one time I hit, the rear of the trailer kept about 5 times shuddering against the fifth wheel, like they were knocking on the back door of my cab. And I was like, what in the hell? And in retrospect, I think what happened now is that's when the 4 airbags deflated. Now I thought they blew, but some smart trucker was telling me that no, they probably didn't blow, because if they blew, my air governor would never shut off. I would have a leak, because it couldn't fill those up. It would just keep going. So I didn't think about that. But I'd messed with it the night before, and I was stuck at a Love's, and the guy was kind of a jerk about it. I understood. It was towards the end of the day. He was getting ready to go home, and nothing was going to happen. I had a mud flap bar that was bent, and I had my airlines underneath the trailer that were hanging below 18 inches from the ground. So I was able to tie that up with a couple of pieces of rope that I had. But I thought I better check it into the shop there at the TA or at the Love's. So I got a work order, got it put in. But the guy was kind of a jerk to me, and so I just said screw it. Because you know what they said was, hey, I said, hey, listen, it's going to be filling up here, and I'm not going to have a spot when you're done with this, because it might take 4 hours. And I said, you guys save me a spot. He said, no, we can't do that. I said, well, then cancel my order. So why would I give you business, and then when you're done, you say, okay, run along, and there's nowhere to run along to? It makes no sense. I got that crap at TA too, so I don't know what the policy is, but it certainly doesn't make sense. Any businessman would know that you want to take care of that customer if they're going to bring you revenue. But they just don't treat drivers. Even though I'm a company driver, I still, consider myself partly responsible for bringing revenue to that Love's, and I wasn't going to do it. So I got another work order for the TA about 18 miles down. In the morning, I was going to go to pick up my load. I had a nice load to get me home for home time. It was about 500. It was about $1 a mile. So ATS will do 50 cents a mile, or 23% of the load, whichever is greater, and that's pretty good. So that was a good little run. Well, long story short, I looked at my clock. I needed to pick that load up pretty soon. I couldn't afford in the morning, after sitting all night, when I could have picked that load up at 2 a.m. I couldn't afford to sit for 4 or 5 hours while they dick around on that trailer, only to come back and tell me, airbags are blown. We're gonna have to lift the trailer with a forklift or a crane to repair those. That was my worst nightmare. So I just, I called Breakdown first thing in the morning. I said, listen, I ain't going to that TA. I'm gonna go, I need you to find me a trailer shop where I could drop this trailer, and then I'll get with dispatch, and they can find me an empty, so I can take the empty in. Now here's the thing. I could have pulled that trailer. This is the part I want you to pay attention to. I could have been like some truckers out there and just been selfish and take care of myself. Maybe I should have, I don't know, but I could have snuck that empty in there. They never would have known that those airbags were deflated. The trailer just pulled really rough. I mean, go over a little bump and it's rough. I could have left that for somebody else to deal with. Gave it to somebody else. But it did happen on my watch. And I knew something happened, so I felt responsible to take care of it. Well, it cost me that load. That $500 load went bye-bye. So I thought, well, geez, you know, trying to do the right thing. And my dispatch, he's pretty cool. He understood. Just not much he could do. I think he ended up giving me $250 to make it back, because it was at least 250 miles to go one way. And God love him, he sent me up in Atlanta, which is where I'm from. I was already going to park down up on the northeast side. Traffic was terrible. There were 4 accidents. I mean, I thought there was riots going on the way the traffic was acting, but not yet. And so I get up there, Brazelton, which is another 30 miles north of where my exit would have been. It took me 4 hours to get through the bottom of Atlanta up to the top of Brazelton. Clock was running short, pulled in. So I'm here to pick up an empty. She said, "What trailer?" I gave her the trailer number. She says, "That trailer's full." I said, "Oh, shoot." I said, "You mind if I go check it? If it's full, I won't bring it out, obviously. If it's not, I'll bring it out with the doors open." She said, "All right, you go on in. Good luck." All right, thanks. So I sat there in front of my trailer that was full, as she thought. Did my 30-minute break. Went home, bobtailed home for the weekend. That's where I'm at, the Bobo Vanguard Bobo up in Adairsville. We'll see how they do on getting me out of here. I called in early. I called them in and I said, "Hey, I'm walking out to Waffle House. Do you guys need anything?" I was kind of kissing up a little bit, hoping that they might get my truck in the shop and get her done. They seem to appreciate the request. Well, my truck is in there, so maybe it's working. I just got to get the door fixed. The door window won't go up. And I smoke cigars pretty heavily. I don't look like Cheech and Chong going down the road if I can't open my windows. It was bad enough the passenger window was opening, but when I was smoking one on the way here, it was like, it's like pit gag. Anyway, so long story short, I got her done. I dropped it in. You know, it'll always come back to you. It's just never maybe in your lifetime, but it'll come back to you doing the right thing. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm sure every single trucker out there has had to make those decisions. And I just want you to know, when you do make the right decision, people like me are appreciating it, because you know what? I saved that poor bastard a lot of trouble, because if it were filled up with something, he had a loaded trailer that he would have had to get fixed, and that could have been a mess. So anyway, that's my thought for the day, you guys. Take care. I had to pick up some garbanzo beans, so I got a little video for you. So enjoy it. Take care. We'll talk to you.
Uno, dos, tres.